People trickling in from all over the area. And my God, his buttons everywhere. That one knows we're recording, this one knows we're recording, and that one knows we're recording. And so far we got 19 locations out in the internet world joining us. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna hop right in. Oh, we got more people adding all the time. This is fun. So good to see everybody. As we start each time, you got to meet some new people. So if you're in internet world, you need to direct message 2 people. If you're here, you need to meet 2 people. If you don't, then you must follow the dancing unicorn and follow his dance steps on here. So you got 1 minute, go meet somebody new. So I didn't see much dancing in here, but Brian Jackson said he was doing the unicorn at home.
I love it.
Next time, Brian, please have your camera on so we can see you dancing there.
Yes.
All right, each week we try to focus on one of our MVVPs. What is an MVVP? It's our mission, our vision, our values, our belief, and our perspective. Today we're looking at our perspective, which is that we're a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer consultant, and focuses all its activities on services, productivity, and profitability. And that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today, some of the different options you have available to help you run your business the way you want to. But every week we start with a culture winner. This is chosen by the one who's the winner before, and they choose who they saw that did great culture stuff this last week. So Tim Wooten was the culture winner last week, and he chose Steve Cox. Woo! And here's what he says. I honestly can't think of anyone more deserving to receive the Distinguished Steffes Award than Steve Cox. I can promise it's not an inside job since we work together. Yeah, right. Steve is deserving of this honor simply because of who he is. He's a remarkable man. He loves being a realtor. He loves his family and loves life. He consistently bends over backwards, which is probably why he has a bad back, to help make sure that our team, Steve Cox Home, stays on track. If you haven't gotten to know Steve, you should. You'll be glad you did. Love you, Steve. And he's usually here, but this morning he's not.
One time.
So grab your phones. Let's text Steve. His phone number is 417-848-6971. Tell him congrats on winning the Culture Award. Again, 417-848-6971. So if you're new, he gets to keep the Traveling Steffes Award, which is named after Ron Steffes, one of our founding members. He gets to keep this for a week, but he gets to keep the Small Steffes Award forever. And these are getting all around our different offices everywhere now. So it's kind of cool how many different people win that all the time. But we do think if we do things the right way, and if we live by our culture, everything else works. And so that's why we focus on it every time we get on here. Every Monday morning, we have what's called a growth call where we're on with market centers all across the country. First thing every week is culture. It is from the top down, and that's how we look at doing everything. Okay, vendor guide. Who do we have in the room? I see Adam.
Yeah, Adam McGrath with Comparion Insurance Agency. We're a full service insurance brokerage, and we love helping home buyers.
I also see a Cardinals fan back in the back. Where?
George Brockman with the Chosen Warranty, where we give your clients the power to choose. And yes, I'm wearing.
Thank you so much. I feel so much better.
I'm gonna say I lost a bet somewhere.
Oh, there we go. And anybody online today? No. Remember, we have a new version of our vendor program. So if you know somebody who's interested in coming in, being part of things and sponsoring some of our trainings, have them talk with Nicole. She's got the whole program and she can send it to them. Okay, also, by the way, I just saw that Guy Calloway jumped on online. I think he's a new school board member in Ozark. So let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, actually, we're up to about 30 people. You'd be amazed what we're doing through communities all around. It's just fun to see how much we do for all of our different areas. Broker moment, Jim, what you got for us?
We don't have a big crowd, but there was a legal line question posed by one of our agents that said, can we provide an inspection report to a second buyer after a contract's falling apart? We've got that. Legal line said, no, you're taking a big chance, blah, blah, blah. And I think they're full of it myself. I think you can provide it because it's been provided to the seller, so the seller now has ownership, and if he wants to provide it. The caution is that you inform your buyer, even after he gets this is a new buyer, if he gets the inspection report, that this was performed for another buyer. And we still suggest that you should probably get a new inspection. But I don't think there's anything wrong with giving it to them, and especially if there's material defects. And then the other side of that is if you know of material defects because you received an inspection report, you have to disclose those. Whether the seller chooses not to or not, you have to every agent, client, customer, whoever it is.
And what you said also, if they've done an inspection in the past, just because things were working that day, doesn't mean they're working today.
That's kind of what the legal line said, but the fact that it said you probably shouldn't share it, I don't necessarily believe that. You got a 50-page report, the contract fell apart last week, everything should be there, but there could be more, like you said. So they just suggested that you don't do it. I'm suggesting it's fine, and but you should inform your buyer that if you want to get an inspection for yourself, you really should, because something could have changed.
Yep.
And do you think if two different inspectors inspected a house, they might find different things?
Oh, really? Can't imagine that.
Yeah.
So there's some opinion in there on the license inspecting?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, thank you much, Jim. Nobody should be calling people they don't have permission to. You do not want to get sued, so please follow the TCPA rules for that. How's the market? So as you look at it for this week compared to last week, all areas listings went up. SOMO wide went from 360 to 392. GSBR 238, 251. And then East County's up about 10 and North County's up about 11. Contracts were varied. Some places they went up, some places they went down. So it's nice that the number of available listings are going up, but I always want to preface this by looking at last year. And so here's the comparison. We had a different graphic last year, but last year in SOMO, this day and the corresponding Monday, there were 499 new listings. Yesterday, there were 392, 100 less. GSBR, 312, 251. So there is still a shortage. It's interesting. It feels, and a lot of people are saying market's picking up. And it is. There's bidding wars again and all that kind of stuff. But we're at a drastic shortage. So if you know of somebody thinking of listing, and there's a lot of reasons why people aren't right now. They're a little concerned about, well, I have this great interest rate. Well, there's ways to talk with them about how you've got enough equity, you could still come out better. So there's some different ways to look at this, but in comparison to last year, it's a different market. And that's one of the reasons for some of the stuff we're talking about today is we've got some things to help some agents in different levels. Also, here is entire active listings. So we're up at 1,012. We went up, what is that, about 30 units? Again, compared to last year, there were 633. So the numbers are telling weird stories right now because there were more new listings last year, but less available because more came on and they sold immediately. So it's a bizarre set of what was going on last year. And even when you look before that, so back to normal history, we should have about 1,700, 2,200, 2,700, back to 2015, 3,200 houses available. So buyers are still feeling like there's not a lot to choose from, and they're right. So that's one of the big things to look at. Main thing is have the information. It doesn't mean it's good, bad, or indifferent. It just means you can help someone make a good decision on things. Okay, April calendar, team meeting today, tomorrow. Nicole's teaching Crush Your KW Agent website. She's doing so many tech classes to help you take advantage of everything that's involved and provided for you by Keller Williams. And Donna's teaching sellers contracts. Thursday, command lead to close with Landon. And I will actually be out in the outlying areas a little bit today. I'm going up to Bolivar today. We're gonna go by and see Rob Luck and some other people there. We're gonna head to the east and see those people, I think, Thursday, and I-44 people Friday. So we try and get out to all the different agents at least once a month and just touch base, deliver signs, whatever they need. And there's another slide that looks exactly the same. We almost had May's calendar ready, but not quite. So May is going to be here, as you can tell by my opening song. It's going to be May. All right, so much for that. But we want you to put a couple things on your May calendar. Cinco de Mayo on May 5th. We're going to have a taco truck right here on property. So mark your calendar. I hear excitement around the room. You will probably have to bring your own margaritas. We do not recommend drinking them and then going out and showing property. That's never good. And then, do we have something else that day also?
Oh, yeah, your coaching is gonna have a happy hour at Uncle Bentley's right afterwards, and we would love anybody to come join us.
So tacos for lunch, beverages for the afternoon. It's a Friday. So mark that on your calendar. Bring a guest. Do you know how many agents don't have a community where they get to come together and do fun stuff with other agents? So if you're doing a deal with somebody right now and they're sort of isolated, invite them to this stuff. Have them come in. We'll have a lot of fun with them. Also, two different things here. May 11th, well, these are both on the same. Red Day is May 11th, 2 weeks away. We're going to be building 94 beds for Sleep in Heavenly Peace right here in the parking lot. So it's not where we have to travel out anywhere this year. It is right here on grounds. The t-shirt order is too late. So this QR code, don't worry about that. But if you haven't signed up to volunteer, please use this QR code. We want to get you on there. We're hoping to have a whole bunch of people. And Elise, what you got?
Well, I'm on that committee. So,
Two Elises sitting in a row.
sorry, I'm like, I'm not prepared. I'm on that committee and you guys, you don't have to have any training. You don't have to have skill or have used a power tool before. There's some exciting things gonna happen. Like you want to use the branding iron, you can use the branding iron just on the wood, not on each other. So I'm sure we're gonna have some sort of a breakfast. I'm sure we're gonna have some sort of a lunch provided by our vendors. I'm not sure where we're at with that.
And George said he's got it.
Oh.
We're at it exactly.
So it's gonna be simple. You don't have to go somewhere and get lost like I did last year on my way to Dogwood Ranch. Got lost, completely lost, crossed the river a couple times.
Oh, and there's no ticks out here either.
And there's no ticks and you might have a splinter or two, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So this is phase 1 of our Red Day. So we're gonna cut the wood and brand it and all the things. And then it cures with a vinegar solution to help prevent bed bugs.
Right.
And then the phase 2 is delivery. So if you can't come, or you can only come for a short period of time on May 11th for the bed making, there will be a part 2, which is bed delivery, 2 or 3, 4 weeks later. So.
And you can do both.
And you can do both. Yep.
And the exciting thing, our goal was to build 80 beds. There are 94 kids on the wait list needing a bed. And it sounds like we're gonna hit all 94 of them.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to do them all.
I will say, I went out and I did this in Marshfield for their chapter, and it was so much fun and it was super easy. And like, they've got the system down. You walk in, they say, pick your station, you walk over, you do your thing, you get bored, you say, I want to do something else. They say, okay, switch stations with somebody, go do something else. And you get your few things done. And I think we knocked out 50 beds that afternoon in like 2 hours
Wow.
with like 25 or 30 people. So I think we're gonna hit this and it's gonna be a nice, quick, fun afternoon.
Cool. Yes, sir.
It'd be a good idea if you got some realtor friends with other brokerages, like, hey, why
Absolutely.
don't you come for the day? And,
Yep.
you know, they see that and then think, man, there's something going on over here.
Yeah.
You know?
Every event we do is to show other agents what kind of community we have, and everybody's welcome to all of it. So invite anybody. We have made contact with both media companies in town, both TV media companies. We're hoping to have some coverage on it too. And the branding, Elise was talking about, the SHP, Sleep in Heavenly Peace logo, that gets branded onto every bed. So that's what I want to do for a little bit. Just use those things. So that's the branding part. There's the building of it, there's the organization, and you don't need any experience at all. So everybody sign up, use that QR code. It's gonna be a fun day right here. Okay, Coming in June, we have Ignite starting again. This is a class that ignites your business. Flame fingers. And Jenny.
Flame fingers.
It's spirit fingers from
Yes,
Color Guard World.
So last time we had about 40 people come in for Ignite and it was wonderful. And so we're gonna do it again because I think we're gonna try to do it at least 2 times a year. So it'll go June 5th. We're gonna go a little bit longer on these sessions to make sure you guys are getting all your daily successes in. If you haven't done Ignite, I highly, highly suggest it. If it's been a while since you've done Ignite, I highly, highly suggest it because this is the time we get back to basics. I am working with our instructors right now to make sure the content is all out and good stuff. So dates are subject to change. They will start June 5th, but we will be sending out quite a lot of materials. So if you're interested, please respond.
And can non-Keller Williams people come to this?
Well, why not? Sounds like a really good recruiting opportunity to me.
If you know of people who are not producing enough, because there's a lot of, so I ran a stat at the end of March and 2,300 agents have sold less than 3 houses in the year. That's less than 1 a month. Those people are gonna have trouble financially making it. We need to help them. Tell them about this class. Let's teach them how to lead generate and how to get these things going. And if you're online, I see that Nicole's thrown the Cinco de Mayo link in there, the Red Day sign up link and the Ignite sign up link. So all 3 are there. If you're in here, you can just go up front. We'll get you on a list. Okay, so if you don't have access to the QR code right here, come to the front. Sorry, Haley, I'm throwing you out this one. We will get you signed up. Okay, so we'll make sure to get you on all these different things. Okay, so it's going to be June. See my tagline? It's going to be May. It's going to be June. Okay, going
Give them
on.
the laughs, guys. Feel better.
It's going to be August. Mega Camp. Who in here has gone to Mega Camp before? All right, who can talk about what Mega Camp does?
Change your life.
How?
Oh my gosh. The way I look at it is, at our level in Springfield, we have 80 percenters and we have the 20 percenters. And the 20 percenters are the ones that are doing 8% of the work, and the 80 percenters are doing 20% of the work. When you go to these events, whether it be Mega Camp or whether it be family reunion or whatever it might be, now you're interacting and you're seeing how the 20 percenters are able to accomplish 80% of the work, and you're even able to communicate and go to breakout sessions with the 5 percenters and the 3 percenters. And then the 80 percenters that are there, they're trying to get there. And they're trying to have all the production. And so it's just by osmosis, you actually learn how to be a high level thinker and be a high level producer by going there. And once you go, you'll never miss it. You'll never miss another. That's how impactful it's been for me.
So do you have to be a Mega agent or on a team to go to this?
Absolutely not. You just have to have the drive and the want to in order to make it happen.
And I will say the last time I went to Mega Camp, it was more of a collaborative environment than family reunion. So like family reunion, you go to the breakout sessions, you kind of listen, you get ideas for your business. When I went to Mega Agent Camp, I guess now, it was.
Yeah, because we have Mega Leadership
I know,
Camp
right?
and then Mega Agent Camp.
But it was more of like, you're given a topic and then you're given the tools to kind of figure out like, how am I going to implement this in my business? How am I going to use this to make my business stronger? So it's not just information given to you, it's strategies and things that you're coming up with to actually implement in your business.
Elise, anything? Friend Elise?
I mean, okay, I'm like, me. Hi. Just call her Riley and call me Ellis.
There we go.
Hey.
Sounds like a law firm, Riley and Ellis.
That just sounds like a law.
You're new Elise on life.
So I go there and I usually get there a couple days early because there are groups within Mega Agent Camp. Like, so I go to the Keller Williams Rainbow Network and we have a 2-day mega, like where we actually have a mastermind, where we sit down and we do a full mastermind. And some of the best things that I've added and implemented in my business is through those communities. I just gave a $1.5 million referral to someone that I met at Mega Camp. And I met her again at Family Reunion. And I trust giving my client to her because of the conversations that I've had. But once you go to, I mean, it's just like Mark said, once you go to this, you really find ways to make sure you go to it every year, because the training and things that I've implemented in my business has just increased my business year to date in an exceptional amount. So
And so by meeting one person and getting one referral, it paid all your costs for going to it, didn't it? So that's another thought, that when you meet somebody there, last family reunion, I met somebody from St. Louis. Next week, did a referral with them. It can cover all your costs by meeting one person. So it's early, we're getting the info out early because it's August 15th, 16th. Options to get there. You can fly from Springfield. You're usually gonna get stuck in Dallas for a while. I did some research. It may actually be shorter time frame to drive to Kansas City, fly direct to Austin. My math was, last time it would have saved me 3 hours doing that. Or if a bunch of you want to do it, it's an 8-hour drive.
Man, I drove that living in San Antonio, coming back and forth. It is such an easy drive, and I
Yeah,
don't
it
care what
is.
anybody says. Oklahoma City, I-35 South is the only
Yes.
way to go.
Yes.
You guys are crazy.
You just
Go
said-
through Big Cabin.
No, it is horrible. Speed traps, stuck behind cars. You
Horrible
You
highways.
set the cruise control, Oklahoma City South. It's such a simple drive. You hit Fort Worth, you stop at Buc-ee's, take a break, and yes, enjoy
You can
it.
stop at Buc-ee's in McKinley.
I'm gonna let her retire.
So in other words, we have options.
Yes.
You can fly, you can drive 2 different ways. Seriously, at a Dallas family reunion in 2020, I think it was, one group road trip, there were like 4 or 5 people together. Make it a fun trip,
Yeah.
but this will be worth it. Get there somehow, but the sign-up's already started. And if you're a MAPS coach client, your ticket is free. So if you thought about coaching, look at getting into that and then get your ticket for free. Okay, enough of that because there'll be more coming. Board stuff. Affiliate Expo, another thing in May. Mayors, I'm bringing this up. Look at all the prizes you can win. Thousands of dollars in prizes, $1,000 Big Cedar gift card, AirPods, stainless cards. This is by going around meeting the different affiliates and vendors. So mark this on your calendar. There's a lot of stuff to win on there. Last year was the one where they decided whether to keep or shave my mullet. So we're not doing that this year, but there's a lot of fun at that day. Also, trivia night is 2 days from now. This is the thing with Nancy had us talking about this last week. Women's Council Realtors, this is another fun event also at Relics. So check both those things. How many of you would like to get a fine this year? Anyone? Okay, the fines are less, but you can bank up in case you get a fine. If you take these classes, it will help you get a credit in case you do get a fine down the road. So I want to make you aware of that. And I think some of this counts as continuing ed and maybe even, for 2024. So you can bank it up. If you know you get fines each year, get ahead on it. And GSBR is excited and announced their partnership with Burrow Behavioral Health, which now makes therapy and counseling services accessible to our members for free. I think it's 5 visits. If you're going through something, number one, leadership team is always here to confidentially talk with you and help you with stuff. But the Leadership Academy last year put this in place. This is confidential health care or mental care with Burrow. And nobody anywhere from the board or anywhere else, there's HIPAA is perfectly in place with it. This is a way to help people who are needing help with stuff. So I think that's a great thing. I want to make sure you're aware of that. And we jump up to the interworld. Nicole, what do you have for us?
Hi. Okay, so I just wanted to do a plug for my class tomorrow, the KW Crush Your Agent website class. If you don't know, but your website actually links with your command, it links with your consumer facing app, everything that is on your website, like if people go on and log in or use it or kind of viewing homes and stuff on it, there's a lot of different features that have come out in the last couple of months. And so I'm going to show a lot of those tomorrow, and I want you to customize it how you want it for yourselves, for your teams. But make sure that you come to my class tomorrow at 11 and we will get right into it.
So this isn't just a class where you're lecturing, it's where you're hands-on with their specific needs.
Yes, absolutely. Bring your questions, bring your laptops. You can start doing a couple landing pages or anything else that you are wanting to do.
And we start at what time tomorrow?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. And lunch is provided if you bring it for yourselves.
Absolutely.
All right, want to remind you of a couple of things. We do have about 2 individual offices still available. We have a 2-person office available, and I think we still have 1 shared office space, like up on the 2nd floor, where there's like 3 different agents in one room. These are going fast. So if you're thinking, I want a spot, or maybe you want to downsize from the one you're in, we're running out quickly again. We're also going to have individual desks available. So if you're wanting just a spot to leave your stuff, talk to any of us in leadership. We got some of those available too. All right, this week's focus. If you aren't, this is a quote from Mark King, our president of Keller Williams. If you aren't using the advantages that KW offers to you, you're actually at a disadvantage. If you're not plugging into our technology, if you're not using all the tools, you're actually behind where you should be. Our goal is to make you productive and have a life worth living through a great real estate career. And that's gonna be hard this year. You've seen the numbers. That's another reason we local KW have tried to make some things to help different people. So what got talked about with the investors about 2 weeks ago, voted and approved by the ALC last week. And those of you that don't know, ALC is our Associate Leadership Council. Every decision made in here is made by the agents. It is not made specifically by an owner or a broker, except for legal things. Jim takes care of all that for us. He says no. But the agents help us make decisions to help other agents. So this is what came out, and it's called the no monthly fee model. And I know some of you are in the back, I'm gonna read through some of this. Keller Williams Greater Springfield is excited to announce a no monthly fee program called the no monthly fee model. We want to be very simple there. This program will be ideal for individual agents who close 1 to 5 transactions a year and do not want to have a monthly fee. The model specifics include individual agent, you can't be on a team, no monthly agent billing. In other words, your E&O and your tech fee do not exist in this program. It does come through the commission you're paying because the split's a little different. There's also no company dollar cap, and a royalty cap does apply. So the company dollar to the market center does not cap if you're on this program. The 3,000 to KW International does. It's at a 60-40 split, and there's an E&O fee per transaction. Who is this for? This is for the people who are not quite at the point of getting ready to say, I know I'm going to have a huge career this year. It is for the people at the 1 to 5 who are still struggling with getting their monthly bills paid. Where the monthly is a concern to them. The qualifications are you've got to have at least 1 transaction through that year, because that is how we keep the market center comfortable, or not comfortable, but secured profit wise, and keep profit share in place. Everything we do is make sure that it makes sense for the company and for the profit share system. If we need to do things that put us out of business, that ain't good for anybody. So we try to use our frameworks and do everything we can to help people that are interested in this. This program is available to opt in at any point. However, you may only opt out on your company dollar cap anniversary month. And that is the date that you started, or if you had what's called a cap management, it's a certain date there. But it's typically the month that you started is your anniversary date, or when your cap resets each year. Personal properties and investment properties will still be at an 80-20 split. If you want info on this, and again, this is not for everybody. This is if you're not ready to quite bet on yourself that you have everything going, because if you do over 5 transactions, this costs you more money. Very honest with you on it. It is to help the people who are in the beginning stages, or maybe they only help 1 or 2 people a year. So that's kind of the layout of this. Landon or Nicole, anything else you want to hop in on it?
Nicole says no.
Okay. Any questions that I can kind of answer? If you're interested in this, the best thing is sit down with Landon. And I'm free also, but Landon has all the specifics on it. Oh, and Steve texted and said, thank you for the congrats also. But we think this program will help some. Here's the reason it came up. We have a lot of people in our brokerage and others, they're just getting out of real estate. This year's got them scared. We want to figure out a way to keep them in. And so that's why this came up. It's a way to help people stay in the business and get through this year. They're saying late 24 and early 25, we'll be back to more of a stability market, but who knows what they're guessing on. There's an election between then, there's everything, so who knows. But this is a system to help people stay in. You've gotten the CE done, you've gotten the licensing, let's not lose it. Nicole.
Quick question, just for new agents I know that might ask, but
Yeah.
is there something that helps with their board fees in that, or is this just strictly market center?
This is strictly for market center. We have no control over the board side of it.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, because that's a great point to put on there. You will still have and we have people in multiple boards, so it's different at each board. I don't know if you all are aware of that. Jim, we're in what, 9 different boards?
Yeah, I'm the broker for.
Yeah.
9.
So we cover here, we're in Maris, which is out of the St. Louis area, Loto, which is Lake of the Ozarks for the cool people. No, it's Loto. Lebanon. Actually, there's a Loto and a Bagnell Dam. There are 2 different ones right there at the lake. There's Ozarks Trail, there's Columbia. We're all over. So Tri-Lakes. Now, what's the new one? Four Corners. It used to be McDonald County and now it's Four Corners because it hits all 4 states. I don't know if we're in that one though.
No.
Okay.
So when you say we're in that,
In other words, Jim and KW is licensed there because we have agents there. Individually, you may not be, but as a brokerage, we are.
so we get, if we just find someone in that area to give us comps.
Or just refer it to them.
Yeah.
Stay home, save your
Yeah.
mileage.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to drive to Raleigh.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. No, I'm talking about virtual listing appointments for some people.
Yeah, I mean, the point is, I think it's better, and this is what the advantage is, I think in Keller Williams, as a broker, I would always suggest farm properties, maybe a little different if you do farm business, if that's what you do. But commercial and residential, give it to the experts who live out there, Kabul, West Plains, Mansfield, Hartfield, past West Plains, out in that other area out there toward the end of the world, you know, Raleigh for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to drive to Raleigh? In Lebanon is okay, I guess, it's right on the edge, but Waynesville, you're getting in Pulaski County, boys, and you could get in trouble there and not come back. You're better off referring.
Okay, stupid example here. I sold an apartment complex in Waynesville once. Guess what? We got under contract and like, I don't have any inspectors that go up there. So I had no clue who to use for that. Then appraisers. We're out of our league because we don't have our connection people there. So to me, get the referral, build the relationship there and keep yourself from getting in a stupid situation where you screw up for a client.
You saw Catherine, she's in Rolla.
She is, yep. In fact, Catherine, I'm gonna see her on Friday morning, I think. But yeah, I see lots of love on that too. Yeah, we've got people all over. So if you're ever curious, just post it on our internal page, you'll find out who's everywhere. It scrolled up a lot. Nicole, you'd also posted something else. I can't see it anymore. Was there something important you'd said on there?
I had just said, well, Cassie had actually asked if they still have like access to command and everything. Yes, they're still active agents with us. So they will still have access to all of their command, their KW, Google, everything.
So yeah, you're still in the internal Facebook page. You're still a KW agent. Again, though, this is for a limited number of people. We don't want you selling 5 houses or less. Honestly, we want you selling. Our goal is 18 for everybody by the year 2025. If we had that, everybody's making really good money and having a secure life and taking care of their family. This is to help people who are in that situation trying to get through things. You came in late, but go ahead and say something real quick for us.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Cindy with Great American Title. You may have heard about the change up with Danny Stoddard, thinking her kids are more important than we are. But good luck to her. This is her last week. I wanted to mention that. If you use Danny, please reach out and say goodbye. She has a travel business, just a plug for her. But I've been in this business for 30 years. I am a solid KW fan. I am colorized. I know the language. I've been to all the trainings. And I just am thrilled to be able to work with you guys. So thank you.
Very cool. Okay, so on the no monthly fee model, if it's of interest, and more importantly, if you know somebody else out there struggling, that's having fees and they're having trouble, we want to talk with them too. This is a way to help more people get through the situation that's coming with this shift this year. So if you know somebody outside of KW, we want to visit with them and give them this option as well. Okay, so what other things do you have? What I love is it's not KW or another brokerage or another. We have so many different choices here. You've got the KW no fee, the standard cap, which is normal. And inside the cap, there's also different split levels depending on your production level. There's the coaching program, which is now 60 people.
Yes, sir.
9 million in closed volume for first quarter. Is that right? No.
I think so. It's quite a bit.
Nice work, coach.
Yeah.
These guys.
There's agent of teams cap. In other words, if you're on a team, there's a different cap for you. And then there's a big team cap. All these are because it's not one size fits all here. We're going to help you fit into where your business needs to be on it. Speaking of teams of cap, if you're on a team, we need a team agreement from you because number one, you both need both sides, the team owner, team rainmaker and the team members both need to know what's expected of them. And according to Keller Williams rules, we cannot change you to the team cap if we don't have a team agreement on file. So we got to have that. Some of my scribbly notes too. As you're putting it together, we've got some samples for you, but if you're in a team agreement or you're trying to put one together, think of every detail you can. What happens if the lead comes from this person? What if it comes from this? What happens here? Numbers, I don't know what that says. Well, the most important thing I have on here, most people are not gonna stay on a team their whole life. You gotta have a prenup put into this. What happens when you're leaving the team or you're being asked to leave the team? Who gets what leads? What relationships they have where? You've got to have all this stuff in place before you even join a team. So if you're thinking of joining a team, number one, make sure you've thought through all the questions. If you're on a team and you're hiring people, make sure you got all this. But again, we've got to have a copy of it or we can't change their to the team cap or the team agreement split. And so we just want to make sure that we're taking care of everybody. Another thing, if you're having to leave a team, you do not have to leave Keller Williams. We're like a mall. Maybe you were trying, oh, what's a fun store right now? The Buckle?
Oh, God.
Say you were in the
This
Buckle.
store is not fun.
I know,
And
that's
the
why you're
Buckle
leaving.
isn't quite right for you anymore. Don't leave the mall. Go out and start your own kiosk or join another store.
Mr. Bunkies or something.
Mr. Bulky's, which is now Mr. Lollies or Lollipops. I like Aladdin's Castle myself. That's from the 80s. So in other words, everything you need is within KW, and that's our goal, is to make it work. It fits everybody one way or the other. Okay, other things. Again, if you're not taking care of these advantages or taking advantage of these things, you're not getting full advantage. All these are what we call a la carte. You can choose any of this stuff you want now. We have Mockingbird designs.
Got it.
Closing gift baskets. There's a bunch of them sitting up front. If you're getting ready to go to a closing, you can just go grab one and it'll be put on your office bill. Listing management, transaction coordination, sign running. If you don't want to go put your signs out, if you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, I don't have my open house signs, we have a way to do that for you. And it's an agent that's doing it, so they can actually put lock boxes on houses for you too. They have the lockbox code. Social media management, monthly newsletters, Facebook listing campaigns. You can use as much or as little as this as you want. You can start it, you can stop it. Not in the middle of a transaction, that'd be very awkward. But everything you need for whatever level you want. So that's the main thing we want to talk about with you today, is make sure you're using all the tools and that you're aware of all the tools. And the second thing of that, if you know other people that are not KW that are missing tools, we want to have a conversation with them. We want to help them have a big business too. So everything you can imagine is on here and usable. Sign running, that's a little hard to do in Rolla or Lebanon because we're coming from here. So we're working on it though. All right, let's see what else we got here. Other things to keep in mind. How many of you do events for your clients? You realize if you want, you could use this room. There's an agreement form to make sure and you know what you're liable for, what the company is, and make sure everything's legal and nobody gets hurt and all that kind of stuff. But this is usable. The parking lots are usable. We've had several people do fall festival type things out here. You have all these things available to use. A reminder also, your personal deals are not the same split. You can do one free from the market center each year on a buy and a sell. Sometimes it gets where it's 2 buys, 2 sells, whatever. But all these things are here. Investment deals. And you know how many investment deals are done on our internal page before they even hit outside? All the resources you have to make your business are here. So we just want to make sure this is kind of a refresher to remind everybody to go, oh yeah, I forgot we had this stuff. What other things am I missing that we have that you think are important everybody should know? Any thoughts, anybody?
You have the text space, the ability to print things out, like black and white copies. How often are you printing something out? If I'm going to the store and I'm buying paper and toner and everything else, it sounds like a small thing, but that can be a really big thing.
Yeah.
Quality copies too, not just cheapy ones.
Yeah. What are the things that we use on a regular basis that maybe we forget about? Just meeting rooms for clients.
The text space.
Yeah.
The home warranty vendor.
Home warranty vendor. Yes, definitely. So there are so many things to help you get what you want. Just don't be afraid to ask. Reach out to us. Let us help get things going for you. Okay, next week, we're working on getting a big KW Zoom guest on. We don't know who we're getting on that. So we're working on that because we're trying to get back on our cycle where the first of each month, we have a guest of some kind. And so it'll go guest person, awards, lore, which is language of real estate. So we're trying to get that cycle back into shape. And just letting you know, we're still working on all those different things. Cool. Nicole, anything else from internet world we need to tell everybody?
I don't think so. You got it.
Cool. All right, thank you all. As you're hanging out after team meeting, make sure and visit with somebody, meet somebody new, talk with our vendors. And as you're going, there's a cool video from Jason, what's his name? Jason Abrams I've thrown on here. So we're done, but listen to this as you're talking, visiting. See you all later. Have a great week.
Hey, everybody, Jason Abrams. The question that was in the comments, I don't even think it's fair, is Jason, how do I feel happier every day? There's so many answers to this, but in 2 minutes or less, I'm going to tell you the trick for me. I got it out of a book called The Gap in the Game. Friends, here's how it goes. Up here, you have your goal. That's what you want to accomplish. And I don't care whether this is a physical fitness goal or a business goal or a wealth goal or a relationship goal, you name it, but you have your goal. And what people tend to do, and it's all of us that we do it, is we say, okay, cool. Then today I am right here. This is today. And I wake up every day and I'm miserable. And why am I miserable? It's because I spent almost all of my time measuring from here to here. This is the area that makes me feel miserable because I say, oh, I'm still poor. I'm not there yet. I don't have 11 million. I only have 9 million. Or I can't do this or I can't do that. Or my body fat is 29%, which is amazing, but somehow true. And that's if the machine was calibrated right, which we're not even sure it was. But so like this right here is called the gap. And this, living in the gap, is what makes people so sad. So you say, okay, well, what would be the alternative? The alternative is to remember what this is down here. And this is actually where you started. Friends, think about how far you've come. By the time you start thinking about this, you usually have went quite a long distance. This, from here to here, this is called the gain. You see, the key to being happy is understanding there is a gap, but spending all of your time measuring the gain. So when you look up and say, gosh, my kid isn't exactly where I want him to be, just remember how far that kid has come. When you look up and say, I'm not where I want to be, think about how far you've made it to even be having that thought. The key to happiness, remember how far you've come. Don't just think about how far you have to go, because here's what I know. Every single goal you're going to hit in life is going to be followed the next day by the same thing, which is, well, that was cool. What's next? When people tell you that the key to life is enjoying the journey, friends, this is what they mean. The gain is the journey. The gap just happens to be the steps you take next. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how to be happier in life. Thanks. Hey, like this video. I've been waking up every day and measuring the gap between how many people should like it and how many people do. And don't get me wrong, you 12 of you, I'm so grateful. I need some gain, y'all. Like the video, hit subscribe. We got so many more of these. Thanks for being here.